Welcome to the investor presentation for the City of Madison, Wisconsin, and its proposed issuance of the General Obligation Promissory Notes, Series 2018D, Community Bonds. I'm Pitishok Chilapamonshri, the Director of Business Development at Neighborly Securities, the sole underwriter for this issuance. Before we begin, I would like to direct your attention to the disclaimer statement on page 2. I won't read everything on this page, but please note that the information presented is for informational purposes only and is not part of the preliminary official statement or the final official statement. Any investment decisions regarding the community bonds should only be made after careful review of the complete preliminary official statement, which can be found on the Neighborly website, and we link to it later in this presentation as well. Materials and statements contained in this presentation does not constitute an offer to sell or the solicitation of an offer to buy any securities. For this presentation, I will be joined by my colleague, Mr. Dan Kupretis, the Director of Capital Markets at Neighborly Securities, and Mr. David Schmidtke, Finance Director of the City of Madison. Now I will hand it off to Mr. Schmidtke, who will present the overview of the Community Bonds Program.
The City of Madison is working with Neighborly Securities to offer Madison residents the opportunity to invest in Madison community bonds. The proceeds will help finance the renovation and expansion of the Olbrich Botanical Gardens, including a new learning center and a larger, more environmentally friendly greenhouse. Just like a traditional municipal bond, buying a community bond means that you are loaning money to the city or public agency for an agreed-upon period of time, receive interest on your investment, and then are repaid the full value of your loan when the bonds mature. The only distinction with this program is that you can purchase these bonds for as little as $500, compared with the traditional $5,000 increments with our normal bond sales. The order period for the bonds is expected to start on October 3rd, 2018 at 1 p.m. Central Time and to end on October 9th, 2018 at 1 p.m. Central. But of course, orders are subject to availability. The interest rate will be determined at the opening of the order period on October 3rd, 2018. As I noted before, the minimum order size is $500 and there is no maximum. Community bonds will be allotted and filled on a first-come, first-served basis on orders of $50,000 or less. The next two slides provide a brief summary of the 2018 Madison Community Bonds. We expect to issue $2.1 million worth of bonds. The issuance contains maturities from October 2019 through October 2028, with $210,000 of community bonds available in each maturity. The order priority is City of Madison residents, Dane County residents, State of Wisconsin residents, and national investors. Interest payments to bondholders are made semi-annually on April 1st and October 1st, commencing on April 1st, 2019. As the security, the city legally pledges that it will use part of the property taxes it collects to make the payments of interest and principal on these notes, and that there is no limit on the city's ability to raise such taxes if necessary. Starting with the fall of 2018, every year the city will collect enough to pay the interest due the following April and the interest and principal due the following October. The exact legal language about this is in the preliminary official statement. Credit ratings on these bonds will be determined on October 3rd, but it's helpful to know that prior issuances from the City of Madison have been rated AAA by Moody's Investor Service. The interest on these bonds is exempt from federal income taxes, but not exempt from Wisconsin state income taxes. The dated date, which is when you will start to accrue interest, and the delivery date, which is when the bonds will be delivered to your account, is expected to be November 7th, 2018. For further information, please see the preliminary official statement, which is available at the link shown on the bottom of slide 9. And now I'll hand it over to Dan from Neighborly, who can share more details about how the order process works.
On page 10, we provide a brief summary of the financing schedule for this issuance. As Dave mentioned, the interest rate is expected to be determined on October 3rd, and the order period is expected to open on the same day at 1 p.m. Central Time. The order period is expected to close on Tuesday, October 9th, subject to availability. As mentioned on the previous page, the transaction is expected to close on November 7th, which means that this is when the bonds will be delivered to your account. Finally, before the order period opens, the city will host 2 information sessions to answer any questions about the process. Representatives from the city and Neighborly Securities will be present to answer any questions about the community bonds and help with the sign-up process. The first meeting will be on Tuesday, September 25th at the Olbrich Botanical Gardens at 6 p.m. The second meeting will be on Wednesday, October 3rd at the Warner Park Community Recreation Center. Individuals who are interested in buying the 2018 community bonds need to create an account and can do so at neighborly.com/Madison. Once the bonds have settled, you will be able to move them into an existing brokerage account if that works better for you. However, fees may apply. Please contact us at support@neighborly.com if you would like to utilize this option. Once an order is submitted on neighborly.com, Neighborly's investment team will review it for approval and allocation. After the information is vetted and the order is approved, community bonds will be allotted and filled on a first-come, first-served basis, subject to certain limitations mentioned earlier in this presentation. For questions about setting up an account with Neighborly to purchase the 2018 Madison community bonds or other inquiries, please contact Neighborly at 866-432-1170 or email us at support@neighborly.com. Thank you very much, and we look forward to your participation on the 2018 Madison Community Bond transaction.